Today, I'm going to share with you 3 editing tips that I really wish I knew sooner. These are tips that you may already know, or you may have never even thought of them. So if you stick around until the end of the video, I guarantee not only will you learn something, but I'll also be sharing a secret editing tip that I didn't know about until a couple weeks ago, that just in the few weeks I've known it, it has saved me hours of time editing. So tip number 1 is to buy an editing mouse. Around the start of 2022, I was looking for a way to simplify and speed up the editing process. I found that with an editing mouse. This may seem like a kind of goofy suggestion, but my editing mouse has literally saved me hours over the years that I've been using it. And I've been using the same mouse for over 2 years now, and it just does an incredible job at what I need it to do while editing. The mouse I personally use is the Razer Basilisk V3 wired version, and it is incredible. Not just for gaming, but also for editing. You can change pretty much any keybind on this mouse, so if you want one of the thumb buttons to map to backslash, boom, do that. Super simple and made very easy through Razer's app. And this video isn't sponsored by Razer, but I really love the Basilisk V3 for editing. The scroll wheel is super premium, and all of the buttons are really satisfying. Now, this isn't a review for the Razer Basilisk V3. That's coming down the road. But this is a recommendation to get some kind of editing mouse that has thumb buttons and macro functionality on board the mouse. Tip number 2 is to develop a process for editing and stick with it. Until about 2 years ago, I would edit everything at one time. I would literally take 2 hours editing the first minute to 2 minutes of the video. After that, the wheels fell off the horse, and I ended up spending only an hour editing the next 20 minutes of the video. To any of you that have ever watched a video where it's super entertaining for that first minute, especially gaming videos are guilty of this, it's super entertaining in the first minute, and then it just drops off and becomes boring after that. That is essentially what I was doing with every single video that I made until about 2 years ago. So my second tip is develop an editing process, a style that works for you. Creating a process will help you save time, save some really killer headaches, and overall make a more polished, cohesive, entertaining, and most importantly, retention-earning video. And a lot of times, you'll just feel better when you get done editing, rather than saying, oh man, the first minute of that video was fire, but the rest of it was trash. If you can say, man, every minute of that video was absolutely flawless, then not only is that super rewarding, but you have just crafted a great average view duration and retention video. I'm going to personally give you my list of my editing process and the steps I go through before I publish almost any video on this channel, on the other channel that I work for, and more. So first things first, I set up the project by creating frame rates, organizing my footage, and having a bin in DaVinci Resolve specifically for my video timelines. Since I like to work in drafts, that timelines bin essentially allows me to see every timeline that I've worked on, and if I need to pull a piece from a previous timeline, I can just go back in the same project and do that super easily. Next, I rough draft all of the footage, and this is by far my least favorite part because it takes the longest, it's tedious, and most importantly to me, it doesn't feel like I've gotten anything done. While rough drafting is difficult, it is a part of the process, and if you just positively hate rough drafting footage, I would consider outsourcing some of those rough drafts. Now comes the fun part, the second draft of editing. I color grade, add transitions, and add any overlay clips that didn't get added in the rough draft of the video. I also keyframe things during this draft, so I add in the fancy zooms, I add in highlighter if I need to add highlights to things. Whatever needs to be done to not finalize the project, but move it along gets done in the second draft. Finally, I move on to the final draft. This is where I add music to my video, I add sound effects to my video, I add subtitles to my video, and I rewatch the video one final time before hitting publish just to make sure I haven't misspelled beans. It has happened before in the subtitles. Then I render the video and export it wherever it needs to be exported, whether that's YouTube, Google Drive, or Fiverr, wherever it's going, I upload the video there, bada boom, bada bing, and then I still get to make the thumbnail for the YouTube videos and do all the SEO for those as well. Having this process has not only made me more efficient, but it's also made my videos feel more complete and entertaining to watch at the end of the day. A process will save you time, it'll make your videos look more professional and more polished. The bonus tip coming up might actually save you hours in your editing workflow, so stay tuned for that. My third tip is to create keyboard shortcuts. About 2 years ago, I was pushing Control-T on my keyboard every single time I wanted to make a split in the timeline. Now, I don't know about you personally, but I make around 300 to 400 cuts every single video that I make. That adds up when you consider the fact that you have to push 2 buttons instead of just pushing one that your hands are already at. I know, the tip is super simple and easy to do, but if you don't do it, you're gonna spend a whole lot more time learning keybinds and a whole lot more time pushing 2 buttons rather than one. I mean, seriously, 3 functions. That's all you have to change to start off. Change your split key to something simple. Change your delete key to something other than the delete key, and change your ripple delete to something close to the delete button. For me personally, I have bound the split function to my S key on my keyboard. I have bound the delete key on my keyboard to D, and I have bound the ripple delete key to W. As a gamer, my hand naturally falls to the WASD position. It feels unnatural having my left hand other places on the keyboard. And I know it sounds kind of goofy, but moving your hand from WASD all the way over to delete every single time I want to delete a clip just isn't time efficient. I'll be making a tutorial soon on how to change keybinds in DaVinci Resolve, so be sure to stick around for that. But this tip, honestly, has saved me so much time. Just not having to Control-T or go all the way over to the delete key. Literally just where my hand is, I know I need to make a split, boom, S. I've already made the split. I don't even have to align my hands. It's just second nature at this point since I've been editing with these keybinds for a little over a year now. Okay, it's time for the bonus tip. Now, this tip specifically applies to DaVinci Resolve, but there are other ways to do this in other software as well, so be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you want to see tutorials for other software. But my bonus tip for you is to auto-align the audio by waveform. I don't know about you, but I literally used to stress so hard about clips being aligned perfectly, the audio. I would always wonder, oh man, the lips are gonna look slightly off with that. Not anymore, thanks to this one simple tool that I absolutely love that I found in DaVinci Resolve. So if you go to the edit page of DaVinci Resolve and you highlight 2 clips that maybe you want to use the audio from one but you want to use the video from the other, this happens a lot. You have to sync audio quite a bit. Simply right click on that selection once you have both of those clips selected. Come here to auto align clips, and then from that drop down select based on waveform. This will automatically scrub through your timeline and sync up that audio to the video almost instantly sometimes. And I love it. I love it so much because it saves me so much time. A lot of times, I mean, in this recording right now, I'm recording on my computer, but I'm using my camera to shoot the video. That is a perfect example. I will use the auto align clips for the audio literally when I'm editing this very video. This has saved me so much time, especially with gaming videos. I cannot tell you the amount of facecam gaming videos that I've edited that this feature has absolutely saved my tail on. This tool is awesome. It helps me save a ton of time, and I hope it helps you save time too. Over here is another video of mine that YouTube thinks you might like. Over here is the subscribe button so that you don't miss any upcoming editing tutorials of mine. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all there.